I know his kids since they're babies, and I would always be around them. And no matter how many movies he was doing around, I don't care if he was in Italy. Then once he was done shooting, he was on a plane back to his family.
Wow. All right, so here with the New Theory Podcast here by Zion Khan, I'm actually have my bingo board of guests, and I'm knocking out 2 with 1. Mike Starr, who needs no explanation, and Lombardi, who is from my favorite movie Amongst Friends. Shout out to Rob Weiss. I want to thank Vince. I want to thank Don, who's been a previous guest. So let's play some cards and jump right in as we're playing.
Yeah.
So, okay, so I'm going to start off with Mike. So, Mike, you saw Director's Cut. You know, we're going to pay you afterwards, but tell us some of the nice stuff about it.
Oh, well, Louis is phenomenal. It's tremendous. And the whole interesting character it's created in pretty creepy, freaky, but also wonderful and brilliant. So I have to confess, I started laughing sometimes when you see what it's about.
You got to play.
Well, not for nothing, but if Mike Starr says to watch a movie, you watch a movie.
And the direction and writing is very unique and excellent. And the music and everything is just tremendous. And there's some really nice performances, but Louis really special.
Can you tell us what the premise of
No.
Donnie, tell me about the premise.
It's about a band that gets hit up by a mysterious director on social media, and he lures them out to the woods of Pennsylvania, telling them he's going to shoot a music video for free. When they get to Pennsylvania, they're kind of trapped there, and I don't think any of them make it home. And the creepy director, played by my good friend here, Lombardi, who's a great creep.
He's a great creep.
So Louis, you know, your career, listen, you've been a lot of roles, you have a lot of range, but this is respectfully maybe slightly different than the norm for you. How did you approach a character? How did you develop it?
Well, you know, me and Donnie have been working on this movie for a long time. Donnie came to me years ago. I got this thing, came up with this thing when he was, you know, Donnie's a music guy. Yeah. That's why the music is so killer in the film. You know, everything. So, you know, when he came to me, he's like, I want to do this movie about this thing, and the guy has to be lovable, but he has to be serious. And he's like, you know, I think you'd be great. And I go, what's the role? He goes, this creepy pervert killer. I was like, thanks, I'm glad you thought of me for that great role. I'm glad you think of me that way, Donnie, my man. He's like, no, but he kind of compared it to Uncle Buck. He said, you're like Uncle Buck, he's strong and engaged. They love you, you lure them in, and then boom. I was like, wow, that's interesting. So we shot some weird little sizzle 3-4 years ago in the back of a deli in Brooklyn. He brought a shirt, the glasses. I put it on, we do the thing, and we used it as like just a little snippet, and he did another thing. So that's how we really started the training. Donnie would call me every night. This guy can do this, this guy can. I was like, listen to him, you know, this is unique. I don't want to do the same stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm very fortunate as an Italian-American actor.
Correct.
All my roles, 24, Edgar, Sopranos, A Real Cop.
Amongst Friends?
Amongst Friends, which was my first movie. But that was my true-to-life character.
Saying, hook me, Vic, hook me, Vic.
Hook me, Eddie, hook me.
Well, you're hooked.
So, okay, so working with Don, you know, you knew Don, you had a great appreciation for him. When you kind of approach your character, you talk a little bit development, you got out of your comfort zone. What makes this movie unique? Because you know, it's cool because it's got, you know, it's picked up everywhere, you can watch it anywhere. But for director's cut, what made it unique and kind of versus the other roles that you played?
Roles? Yeah. I mean, you know, it's a character where I've never really played like a killer.
Yeah.
And especially a psychotic killer who has, you know, it's methodical because it's not just he's out killing. I'm not going to say, but so anyway, so you know, I like approaching different stuff. And one thing about Donnie as a writer, director, and as an Italian-American, everything he does, that I know for 20 years, everything he does is opposite of what everybody else is doing as an Italian-American independent filmmaker.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm in, dude. I love this premise. I love this stuff. What you're doing is different. You know, and I kind of admired him, and I would always help him. I helped him with his first film, cast a few actors. You know, I helped him, like, just along the way. We told him anything, I would give him advice, and blah, blah, blah. You know, we became friends. I mean, we became friends 20 years later. Now, starring in his movie, and, you know, we worked on it. It was kind of like a kind of coming of, you know.
Coming of age thing.
Yeah, you know, so again, what I admire about his filmmaking, it's not the same. Look at when people get a chance to make a movie, and they do the same gangster stuff, the same actors.
Yeah.
If I had the movie, just try to be unique.
Yeah.
You know? And that's what he does with his filmmaking, all of his films that he's made. So that's why I love, you know, doing this project.
So, just out of curiosity, I'm going to ask you both this. You're both well-recognized actors. The director's kind of nice cherry on top. What do you get? What do you recognize the most for? If you stop on the street,
I might go first, yeah. I mean, I've been
I mean, you've done. I mean, I can name 30 things. But you're stopped on the street. What is it for behind?
It varies with people, but I guess there's a lot of Dumb and Dumber laughs and GoodFellas. But
Guys! Fellas, you think we could listen to the radio or something?
then there's some television show. Then I don't know. Bodyguard has some, but GoodFellas has a big. It depends where you are. It's funny.
If you could say
Then
for
there's
me,
things that they surprise me with.
if you could say for me in the audience, it's totally untraceable, I'll die happy.
It's totally untraceable. Oh my God.
It's a cerebral moment for me.
American servicemen changed their movie on the French money sent it back here. It's beautiful. It's totally untraceable. Okay?
Can I give you a quick
Wait,
little
I'm the
fact?
night comment. Go ahead.
The quick little fact is, you know how long I know Mike Starr? Since I'm 18 years old. He's been my biggest guy, took me under his wing since I was in the Bronx. Before I was an actor, he got me my first commercial. I made $100,000 for Burger King at 18. He goes, go down, Louis. I went down. I was like, I want to be an actor. I was getting the residuals.
What was it,
But
the chicken sandwich?
But when I went to LA, he made me go to LA. He goes, the streets are terrible. Go to LA. He took me in. His brother took me in. His brother.
Both.
Bo Starr's a famous actor. Remember Henry Hill's dad?
Oh my
You
God.
want to be a bomb?
Halloween 4 o'clock?
Yeah, his brother's the best. And wait, his brother had a house, and his brother was a chef. Went to Italy and cooked with them.
God,
And
yeah.
me and him would be the mooches going over. His brother would be cooking every. We had the
Jeez,
food.
Maresco, we had so many people at Franklin's who leave.
And they all became like massive people in the business. But these were Mike's friends. He took me in, and that's
So
how
this is an important question because we're like, I'm blown away. By the way, watch Director's Cut. So we got that plug for Don. Make sure, because otherwise Don will beat me up. He's much stronger than me. What did you see in him? Well, I see it now, but what do you see?
What do you see?
A vibrant guy, a special guy,
There you go.
a creepy pervert.
I could fuck over here so hard.
Just totally. He's still always. What do you say? Just unique, and just everyone fell in love with him. You meet someone. I didn't have to do anything.
So typically,
Yeah, the energy is right.
yours mentored away, right? Mike Starr.
Absolutely.
And generally, you do that when you have a
It's a
mentor.
two-way street.
Well, who was your Mike Starr? Let's give them a shout out. Or did you have
There's
one?
a few. Oh God, you wouldn't know who Richard Boone was on the first Richard Boone, right?
I heard more
I mean,
stories.
there's so many people. There was a guy you wouldn't know. Phil Pope. I'm trying to think. I
it's
mean,
gonna get
Danny
mentored, so
Aiello
you
was
need to know
always
them. Danny
do
Aiello,
nice
yeah.
things, right?
29th Street, right?
People I would work with. It's hard to say. I'm trying to think that. Then you feel like you've ignored someone. Like, I mean, you meet people like Wilfred Brimley on the national. He did advice, but
So you're like the
But there's
grandson of
weren't people
great
you would
people
know,
there.
you know?
He adopted me. So his whole
That's it.
family adopted me. His brothers.
And my brothers.
Wow.
Parents with my brother pushed me into theater and get me a scholarship at school.
So what are you most identified? So you're walking in Manhattan, wherever you're walking, or LA. What are you most? Because you have like 80 things to pick from. What are you most noticed for?
I gotta be honest, like when I do something.
What is it varied by the area?
It varies. That's been heritage. 24 I did for years, 2 years. And then Sopranos I did and they're opposite roles, but they're two different audiences. So
Yeah.
it's not a like people who
There
watch
you go.
Sopranos don't watch 24 and vice
Right.
versa. And so when I'm out, people be like, he's on Sopranos, no 24, and be like, I'm on both. They don't get it because the character's so different, and they don't overcross those audiences. So you're getting 20 million from one, 20 million from others. So you're getting different audiences.
And
then I
Netflix
did
changed so
Entourage.
much.
Yeah, and
Entourage.
I did Entourage.
That's
as
what
well.
happened with me with Netflix in the office. All these young people saying, "I know your voice, you're Red George."
Yeah.
And I should say, Nintendo. One of the guys I would go to, guys, would be Joe Montana. A lot of times I'd say, Joe, but
A little bit of it downstairs.
okay, check to see if it's over there. All right, I'll be
This guy
with Joe
shook us down.
Montana.
You can get residuals.
The different people. I feel funny. There's so many people. The people you see me work with, whether it's Rob Gertz, with Dustin Hoffman. I mean, people. Gene Wilder was wonderful. Ron Lithgow recommended for parts, And you got Davey Provo here, right?
Yeah.
You got to talk to him. It's great, but yeah, I'm sorry, I get delayed reaction on
No, we're on.
questions.
Yeah, we're both
You're like the Pope. You can do whatever. We're in.
Yeah. And the things I get recognized most from are probably with a variety. And you know what's funny when I come to do my show,
I had the fives over.
Joey,
I get more posters of the usual suspects. He said, wow, I get a lot of movies that I love, you know?
So what the view is, and you talk a lot about like Italian American actors, Italian American roles, but I would argue in a good way that you are not typecast.
That's my biggest flex as an actor.
Well, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
is it something that when you were outside of that space, is it natural or was it something you had to fight for? I want to know.
No, it just became natural because what you see me is I could be your friend, your neighbor.
Yeah.
You don't really see me as a gangster once you know me.
Yeah.
You know, oh, I like this guy. He could be my neighbor. He could be my brother. He could be my cousin. I get that a lot. Hey, you want to be my cousin or my buddy from I went to college with. So, you know, when what you see yourself inside
Correct.
is what people see. So if you see yourself as, you know, whatever, that's what people are going to see. I see myself as just a friendly guy to everyone. Like middle America. You know, I don't see myself as a New York, you know, oh, I'm a New York gangster guy. I see myself as just your neighbor. So I think when I come off like that, I'm friendly, I like people. And that's it's the energy.
So the other thing is, and obviously we'll speak as much as you're comfortable with, but you are doing a food venture with your daughter, I believe, right?
Yes.
And one of the things that I'm going to admit this without crying, I follow you along the years. And one of the things I love about you, you're a good father first. And I'm talking
And I got to be honest, I got it from him. I'm going to tell you why. Because when I was 25 years old, right, and I moved to LA with him, this guy has 3 kids. He's a dad. His wife is way smarter than him. And literally, let me tell you something. I know his kids. She is. She's a surgeon. So anyway, I know his kids since they're babies, and I would always be around them. And no matter how many movies he was doing around, I don't care if he was in Italy. Then once he was done shooting, he was on a plane back to his family.
Wow.
You only took care of me in the box too.
So that's what I learned. Like, and I
Best beyond the city.
Yeah, and I tell my daughter, I go, a lot of that stuff I learned how to be a dad in this business is being around your kids. That's why I'm always with my daughter. But he was always with his kid in 2 seconds. So
That's crazy.
yeah, so all the stuff I learned lessons in life.
If I go in a few minutes,
You gotta okay, get up. I'll take the chips.
grill apart.
I'm gonna split them up. Let's
Let's
go.
Stay all in.
Go all in. Either that's his too. But you know what I'm saying? So there's not just like life lessons from people you're around or for years.
So I can call the all in? Absolutely.
Squeeze it through Vince Vito Monte.
All right, ready? Hold on. I gotta go this way. Uno, dos, tres. I got a bunch.
Yeah, now it's 6 grand. Because some great stories.
Take this as a compliment and get this on your better man than you are an actor.
I like that. Thank you. I prefer that.